It was adequate up until Hook kicked out of the Muscle Buster. It's a green talent up against one of the best veterans you could have, so I didn't expect the match to be great. But the kick out at 1 really irked me. Sure, suplexing a heavyweight such as Joe is pretty impressive. Kicking out of a finisher is impressive on paper. But claiming that Hook is a made man after this match is hyperbolic. He has not really made any progress from when he was beating up jobbers. If he was, y'all be clamoring about his next matchup. I do enjoy beating him for the majority of the match, though. There's supposed to be levels to this. Having a win streak against nobody should not mean that you're ready for a title match. It wasn't a bad match, but it was far from a good match. A very bland squash that I feel isn't very memorable and didn't have any heart to it. Hook just isn't a good wrestler and needs a lot of work. Having him kick out at 1 after a table spot, apron powerbomb, and muscle buster was a dumb call. I get it, his dad's Taz, but he's so much smaller than Taz was, and Joe was his first credible opponent he ever faced. He has to earn moments like that, or else it just feels forced like it did here. And then you cap it off with Hook refusing to tap out. This match did nothing for the world champion. Was entirely about Hook, and again, he has not earned that yet on screen. They don't just tick any boxes for me. Giving it 4 for Samoa Joe's effort and the fact that he didn't overstay its welcome. But I sincerely felt that this was a very bland match that'll be forgotten. Well, I haven't forgot, motherfucker. In fact, I'm making a YouTube video about it. It's one of the most talked about matches on cagematch.com for the month of January. This match literally set the internet on fire and got people talking about Hook in a more serious way than they've talked about Hook since his debut. So I think that you're entirely wrong on every single fucking point you made in your idiotic review. When the fuck are we gonna get over size in the wrestling community? Like, hasn't it been the case for a while that you don't need to be a big guy to be a top draw in wrestling? I know everyone's going to click off the video as soon as I say the name CM Punk, but there's a lot of weight to that. CM Punk, small guy, big fucking draw. You do not need to be a big dude, big massive fucking dude, to be a top drawing wrestler. We're going to see a new generation of wrestlers that's smaller in general because of AEW. We're going to see guys like Hook, Darby Allin. Fuck, man, this is such an unpopular video. Jungle Boy. Look, he's going to come back, guys. Jack Perry's coming back. And that's another thing about what this dude just said. He's like, Hook hasn't faced anybody credible. Fuck, guys, look, I ain't trying to bring up Jack Perry, but I'm going to bring up Jack Perry. He's credible as fucking AEW. In AEW, Jack Perry was one of their top guys before the fallout, and he's going to be again. It's going to happen. They believe in that dude. He's one of the pillars. He's one of like the founding, promising young stars in AEW. He's going to be back. But that's just what a couple of assholes said. As we know, this match sits at a very high rating on Cage Match. In fact, you can see all these 10 stars. I don't know which one of these I'm going to read next, but I just wanted to give you an idea of how many there are. Like, it's a lot. This was a very polarizing match. Either you fucking loved it or you thought it was okay. Like, nobody really hated it other than a couple of like total psychopaths. Me, myself, when it came out, did I think it was the greatest, match that ever happened? Was it a 10? Like, I don't think so. Was it an extremely solid main event? Was it memorable? I mean, there's another claim that was made in that review, is that it wasn't memorable. I mean, holy shit. No, we're always going to remember this. This is like a building block for Hook, for sure. If Hook was ever going to make the next step in his progression, it was going to need something like this. Something truly memorable that we can really stick a pin in. Because the Jack Perry thing, it happened, it all out. It was really good. I thought it was a cool match. But as good as that match was, it was more memorable for what happened after the match than the match itself. In fact, I think it was a fucking shame what went down with Jack Perry and CM Punk, if not because it kind of overshadowed a very solid hardcore match that Hook had with Jack Perry. I thought that was a great showing for both of those guys. And then what happened afterwards, of course, totally eclipsed that whatsoever. So it's nice for Hook to have something clean and free of controversy that he can, start to use to build his career and really solidify his following and spot in AEW. I don't care. I'm giving this match 5 stars because I haven't reacted like that to a match in ages. Even if it was short and they didn't do a lot of stuff to build, everything was paced so perfectly and the aggression from both men was off the charts. Hook going for Joe right at the bell and being ragdolled around only to continue the assault, jumping off the barricade and off the apron too. Joe countered by just throwing Hook anywhere that looked remotely dangerous, and the table spot was just so godly. I called Hook kicking out at one of the Muscle Buster like 30 seconds before it happened, and I popped so hard for it. The brief comeback Hook made was spectacular too, only to get caught by Joe and pass out. The perfect finish at the perfect time. This match is the best 10 minutes match I've ever seen. Hook looked like a real superhero. I actually love this match. I like it more at revisiting it than I did watching it at the time. And I liked it a lot at the time. I think it gets better with age. I think that revisiting this, as the last reviewer said, is going to be something that I'm looking forward to in AEW. And we saw, Hook being kind of interjected in during the storyline to kind of keep them just fresh in there. God, wouldn't it be something to have the day that Hook beats Samoa Joe will complete a journey for Hook and actually move him to the next level. This is like the start of that journey. He's got to come back. He's got to beat Joe. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. The crowd was loud for Private Party at the beginning of this one. Spot of the match. During the picture-in-picture, Darius Martin hit a combination DDT and Scorpion Death Drop on both members of Private Party. Cool move. Quinn hit a suicide dive on Darius on one side of the ring, slid back into the ring, hit a suicide dive on Dante on the other side of the ring, slid back into the ring, hit a somersault plancha onto Darius, slid back into the ring and did a somersault plancha onto Dante, then did some hip thrust before hitting a 450 splash from the top rope for a near fall in the span of about a minute. So he is definitely still in good shape. Honorable mention as well to Darius, who hit an awesome looking guillotine Pele kick. The finish was Private Party hit the Gin and Juice, which is one of the coolest double team finishing moves in wrestling, on Dante. Then Quinn rolled up Darius Martin and held the top rope for the 1-2-3. The cage match rating is 6.3 when this came out of 135 votes. This was fun. Could they have done more? Yes. But I think they may have been leaving meat on the bones for a reason. Given the finish, we're sure to see a rematch soon. I think a 6 is an appropriate rating. May have been higher if so much the match wasn't in picture-in-picture. The winner of this match was Private Party. And I hate it when they have a really good match with really strong spots, and then so much of the match is just eaten up with commercials. And I notice this a lot with the lower rated matches on Cage Match, is a lot of them are just due from the match playing out in picture-in-picture. And it's a damn shame because there's a lot of really good matchups that end up happening that way. I like to watch the broadcast off of Fight TV where we don't cut to commercial ever. So we get to see everything during picture-in-picture. And maybe that's why I enjoy AEW more than the average viewer, because I don't watch the network experience, which I feel is subpar. I'm hoping that a lot of people will go back once AEW has a streaming service and rewatch these episodes and see the full uncut wrestling matches. I mean, the episodes play out more like pay-per-views when there's no commercials involved. And a lot of times there's interesting things going on during the picture-in-picture because AEW performs for their audience primarily. It's odd, even though it's a bigger audience that's watching on TV, they really put a lot of effort into making the crowd pop. And that's what Private Party did here. If I had to give this match a rating, I would give it a 4. I think I've said that before in other videos, that this was a 4 out of a 5 for me. Could it be higher? Yes, I really do feel like they were holding back for something larger later on down the road with them and Top Flight. So yeah, a 4 out of 5. Very strong return for Mark Quinn, fan of the show and friend of the program. So good job, Mark and Isaiah. I'm really hoping for big things for them this year. But that's just what I thought. I want to know what you think. Let me know down in the comments below, as well as, doing a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the bell and make sure you watch another video after this one. That tells the algorithm that no matter what, you'd like to see the next video that we put out here. It doesn't help to share these things around on social media with your friends as well. Anyone you know that likes AEW or maybe should like AEW. That's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. See you again next time. Grave diggers, keep digging.
Stop what you're doing, baby, and follow Mr. Hargrave from parts unknown, if you will, baby.
I've seen the demon's face.
Mark joined one half of Private Party, say what up to the grave diggers, and keep doing your thing.
On my knees in praise of the horrible things that took her away.
Watch another video or be cursed.